I know they say you should accept you for yourself, but just what do I do with this? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? This, that, there. Let's go over there. Looks like that. Go over here. No, let's go all the way forward. Go forward. Go way forward. It's still a bush. I go all the way back. Hold on a second. Let me go all the way back here. All the way back. I'll be honest with you. I just feel like an old man with my big old forehead. It's look at that. Look how big that is. It's a brush. It's the size of a brush. I understand Sakura. I understand her now. That's it. That's it. That's the opener. Welcome, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time for the vlog. And this is gonna be one of the more personal vlogs. I don't think it's gonna be TMI when I think about it, isn't it? Anything impersonal can be TMI one level or another. It's a spectrum, isn't it? Everything's a spectrum. Spectrum, left to right. Not everything's a spectrum, of course, but a lot of things are. A lot of things are. You think about it, like there's black and white, then there's gray. And what is gray? A spectrum. When you think about it, that's what it is. Because there's varying shades of gray. I think spectrum's just a new word for varying shades of gray. It just doesn't sound as cool as varying shades of gray. To me, at least. Probably noir fandom. Okay, so I've written up a list of things I want to talk about because this is the fourth freaking take, and I keep forgetting if I've already talked about a thing. So they're in an order. I know what I'm going to talk about. It's going to make it even more interesting because you're like, wait, this guy's talked about this how many times? Now he's talking about it again. You'll see. Also, it's more organized. So there's that. Losing my mind. I'm hungry. I got pandas. I'm going to eat the panda when I'm after this. I'm just going to be great. Alright, I should shut up already and do this thing. Okay, so this is going to be more, there's going to be some information that's interesting, but it's going to be a lot of venting, because the vlog at the end of the day is venting. That's what it is. It's what am I thinking right now? This is me getting it out, letting random strangers, well, you're not strangers anymore, honestly. I don't know if anyone new watches these. I feel like it's the same, like, 10 to 20 people who've been following me forever who watch these. If you're actually a new person, then that's a bit. Don't make that the thumbnail. So acceptance is what I want to talk about first. Accepting yourself for who you are. And some of that is just accepting that, like, well, you're not all the things you want. And some of it is just accepting that the things that you are can be good or awesome. It's also because self-love is important. And that people have said, if you can't love yourself, how can you love other people? And that's a hard question, honestly, when you think about it. But acceptance is a step towards that, I suppose. So, Scarf must accept some things. One is my hair is ridiculous, and I don't think it'll ever be good. When I was a kid, it was long hair. It went all the way back, straight, by the way. Can you imagine any of that? Straight, all the way back, down to, like, my ass when I was a child. And then, for reasons I don't know, I think it was because at some point, I realized that people just see long hair as a girl thing, not a guy thing. And so, by social stigma, I cut my hair. And I had it feathered. By the way, feathered's not a bad look. It was probably not the way for me. Although I might want to try it again just to see how it is as an adult. But that's what happened. And ever since, it's been this. So all I can imagine is just take a guitar string after it gets cut, it curls up, right? That's what happened to my hair, I guess. After all that time of being straight, it's like, we ain't going straight no more, boy. This is what it is now. That's what happened there. It went from straight to curly and wavy, and if they're straight, it's in random places mixed in with everything else. I've got the three, baby. I got all three mixed in here. That's what it is. And I can't do anything about that. Now, I could take a straightener, of course, to it. Get real close to burning my head doing that, but how good would that look on me? I don't think it'd be all that great. So why hasn't Scarf cut this? Well, one, pandemic. I don't want to really get near anyone I don't know. And I also don't want family cut it because, well, family cutting it, I don't really want that. I'd rather a stranger be close to me than a relative because I don't know. I can't tell you. It's just weird having them touch my hair. Also, the other reason why I don't cut this, spite. Spite is a spicy meatball. So Everyone keeps saying you should get a haircut. It's time to get a haircut, right? You should probably get a haircut, huh? It's like, hey, sport, you should get a haircut. Actually, someone at work said, hey, sport. It's like, time to get a haircut. Like, everyone just keeps saying it. So spite makes me not want to get the damn haircut. I'm like, forget you guys. Screw it. I'm keeping it. You guys have to deal with it. I gotta deal with it too, but you guys gotta deal with it. That is what's happening. Spite is the motivator right now of the hair. If I cut it, it would just be that short hair that we've seen many, many times in my life. Because the nice thing to know is it takes 7 months to get to this point. So in January or December, I will cut it down to the short point again so it can grow out to this. And then my hair will be ready to be Midoriya. And here's the thing that I'm going to fight, because I don't want to accept it, is I'm not built for Midoriya. I've got a giant frame and a belly. Who is that? That's not Midoriya. That is Mr. Sugar. This Sugar Man. Sugar Man with the big old lips, that guy. I don't want to be Sugar Man. I'm going to be Midoriya. Problem is, only girls dress as Midoriya. Be the change you want to be. You want to see, right? So I need to be the first male Midoriya I've ever seen. It's just the ladies are Midoriya. At Comic-Con, just the ladies go Midoriya. And then Bakugo gets dudes and girls. But Midoriya's just a chick. It's just, alright, fine, alright. So I need to be the change I want to see. I'm just a bulkier Midoriya. That's the plan. That's the plan. Which is going to have to be next year when I am much older gentleman. So yeah, I just got to, so accepting hair. So facial hair is not the same thing though. This is laziness. I'm being too lazy about this because of this. That's why I haven't bothered shaving it too much. I shaved it one time because I was going to meet a girl about a thing for work, but still it was a girl, so I was like, I want to look good for that. The ideal look is a look you've seen many times if you're a long-time viewer, and that is the chin strap look, which is just this, and that's it, and maybe the beard. But like up to here, like not neck beard. Neck beard has a lot of negativity to it. Also, neck beard doesn't look good to me. The only one version of neck beard I like is the neck mohawk because it looks so silly. It looks like a cartoon character. It's the only look I like for the neck beard, and that's not for me, so for someone else. Or you just let that all grow out. If you ZZ top it, you get to have whatever you want there. Like, if you're ZZ topping it, just let it all be. I'm not going to judge that one. That's because you're just letting that all go out. Mustache, this is the best it's ever going to be. I should probably trim these parts a little bit, though. Unless I can get, like, Dirk Dastardly going on here. Maybe that'd be kind of fun. But I don't know if I can even pull that out. Really don't. People are like, why not do a goatee? Because this doesn't grow. This area don't grow. Can't goatee it. Also, goatees are villains. I'm not a villain. I'm a good man. I must also accept that I am just like I just said, a large frame up here, up there, and a big old belly, which hopefully disappears someday through years of dieting I'm trying to do. I'm losing about a pound a week. I'm losing about like 0.1 body fat a week as well. So it's getting down. It is happening. But this back surgery is going to happen, and it's going to come right back because I'm not going to be doing anything. That's why I'm working out 6 days a week right now. That's why this is so defined. This is 6 days a week right here. That's what this is. Just, there you go. 6 days a week. That's what you get from that. And that's with light weights, because I can't get any heavy weights. Where are we? The heaviest weights I have are 25-pound dumbbells. And that's it. Like, I'm ordering some 150-pound resistance bands, so I'm really hoping for those to give me some good resistance so I can get stronger. Because the other thing is I have to accept is these are going to be here. These are either going to be bulged out because of fat or because of muscle. But they're never going to go away. I'm never going to be that dude who just has it's just flat as a board kind of thing. It's always going to be, they're going to be there. So it's up to me whether or not they're going to be hard as a rock or pudgy as a pillow. Like, that's up to me on that one. So I got to get like some pec work going. I got to find some way to do that. Like, you do flies and you do these for pecs. Those only ways I'm going to get these more developed. Terry Crews it. That's the plan there. Acceptance is going to be deeper down as well down the line. But that's it for now. So I need to talk about the gift cards. So my birthday's on Tuesday. So I bought 8 gift cards. That many. I bought two $50 Nintendo, two $50 Steam, two $50 PlayStation, and two $50, why am I doing this? Xbox. $100 each. So there's 5 giveaways. 5 giveaways. All right. So right now it's on Twitter, so you can go over there. It's the main LostScarf account. And you just like, retweet, and you put a comment. The comment is, which one are you trying to win? Trying to win Nintendo? Trying to win Xbox? Trying to win PlayStation? Trying to win Steam? Just say which one you want to win, and you're entered for that one. And there's at least like 20 people in each of them, so your chances are what your chances are. Early on, nobody said Xbox, and no one said PlayStation, so I'm like, wow, if only one person says it, they just automatically get it. But then people started to show up, and they were starting to say it. I'm like, all right, okay. The one thing is, I stress this many times, every time there's a giveaway, I don't want follows. Because unless you follow me for me, and you're really following for the giveaway, you're useless to me. Because follower numbers don't mean anything. It's all about engagement. If you actually respond to my messages or do likes and things like that, that actually means something because it's engagement. If you don't, my numbers are just big, but they don't mean anything, that doesn't mean anything. Like I just said it twice in a row. I've said this before as well. There is somebody, I forgot his name right now, 3 million followers. He gets the engagement of 0 on so many of his tweets. That is not someone I want to be. Alright, so gift cards have been sent. So I want to say this one, because this is something that's happening right now. So I'll just mention it now. There is a movie coming out on Netflix called Cuties. The original name is Mignons, I think it is. Mignons, I think? Mignones? French film. So the poster for it was 4 girls, 11 years old, looking very provocative. And like one girl's got her ass out, and like another one's just like bent over. It's not good. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. These are 11-year-olds. The description is, this girl joins a twerking team, and she discovers her femininity, and she's dealing with like family traditional stuff. And you're like, whoa, this is really pedo. This is extremely pedo. This ain't right. No, I don't want any piece of that. And so that's what the crowd did. The crowd's like, no. So Netflix comes out and apologizes, saying like, oh, we're sorry for the promotional material. We'll change that. We're still going to show the movie. We're going to change the promotional material, though. And everyone's like, what do you mean you're still going to show this pedo movie? And then finally, it took way too long. Finally, more information comes out, and that is, because the thing is, it won like Sundance. You're like, how did it win Sundance? And here's the reason why. Because it's not just because all of Hollywood is, or the Sundance is pedos. It's not that. It's, although there is, of course, those conspiracy theories. It is made by a Senegalese woman from France. And this is her experiences with like the over-sexualization of younger women, and with like religion and things like that, and just all this stuff, and just these things bearing down on a young woman. So think of the irony of this. Her movie is about the over-sexualization of young women, and Netflix over-sexualizes that movie in its promotional material. So she became a victim of the thing she's trying to rail against in her movie. That is some sucky irony. And that will definitely harm her viewership of that movie. And it's all Netflix's fault. By the way, whoever made that stuff, whoever okayed that stuff, and so on and so forth, might need to be a little investigated there, because wow. Like, I don't think it's a prudish thing to not be okay with 11-year-olds being sexualized with twerking and all that stuff. I don't think that's a prudish thing at all. That is just like, what the fuck? That's what I think, completely. I don't know where you would age cut off on that one, because I'm not going to get into that, because dear God, that's not even something I want to even consider. Considering that I'm hoping to have children, and I'm hoping to have at least one of each, so that I get to stress about both versions of childhood. I don't want to think about when would my little girl be a woman. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about when would my little boy, be a man. I don't want to think about that at all. At some point I'm going to have to address that. At some point I'm going to have to address that, because I have to talk about the talk. But I'm not there right now. And the tragedy for me is if I never have kids, because I want kids. I really do. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. So that's what's going on with Cuties. That's the whole thing, if you did not know. Because the problem is we get some information, we freak out to that, and then sometimes we don't notice the next information on that. But I do think the initial freak out was warranted because Netflix was marketing this movie badly, very wrongly, and I'm glad people reacted like, yeah, hell no to pedo stuff. Another thing I want to talk about is Paper Mario. Since Paper Mario, the Origami King, is 10 out of 10 for me. It is the game of the year for me. There's still a couple more months for it to get beat out for number 1, but right now it is number 1. Doom somewhere up there, Control somewhere up there. By the way, Control DLC is going to happen at some point. AWE is coming out sometime the end of this month or next month. So there's that. The LP also made me think about, because that LP is happening right now. Paper Mario LP, I just beat the game, but the LP is on YouTube right now. And there is so much funny writing. There's a lot of weight to the writing as well. And if you're someone who was mad at Kensuke Tanabe saying, because he's like, we can't have original characters anymore, and because that you don't want to play Origami King, you're doing a disservice to yourself. Sure, you might not like the combat system, or that there's no XP, and that there's no individuality with the characters anymore. But my argument to these things are, the combat system's different, but it's still really fun. It's an interesting puzzle concept. It gets boring eventually, just like any JRPG does as well, so don't even. And it's just fun, and the boss fights are really good. Because it's more of a puzzle fighter, puzzly fighter, instead of just straight up stats to win, you have some interesting, complicated, and fun ideas with the boss fights, which I really enjoy. And characters not being individuals, what I find interesting about this one is it takes advantage of that. The writing takes advantage of that, about the fact that all the Toads look the same, and about the fact that all Bowser's minions look the same, and things like that. It takes advantage of that with a couple characters. I'll give away one. I'll give away Bobby. Bobby the Bob-omb makes you think about the fact that all these Bob-ombs, they all look the same. They all work for Bowser, or they just exist out there, and a lot of them work for Bowser kind of thing. And they are just faceless minions to you. And Bobby the Bob-omb, for me, makes me think differently about all Bob-ombs now. That's how well done Bobby was done. As much as I love Bombette, she was just a fun character. Bombette was a fun character that you had in your crew in I think it was original Paper Mario 64, not I don't think she was Thousand Year. I think she was the original. And Bombette was a fun character. I like Bombette a lot. She was one of my favorites. Like Goombario is a funny character. I'm gonna forget him. I think it's Goombette or the Yoshi, who I can't remember right now. Or there's all these versions of all these characters that were very fun and memorable back then, and they don't have the clothing anymore here. But there are memorable versions of these characters here, and they're very fun. I love them to bits, and the new characters that do get brought in, they're really something special. And there was a lot of weight to this game. The humor was really good as well. I had a lot of fun with it. There's no point where I did not enjoy this game. There are times when an LP drags, and I just want to be done with it. I never felt that way with Paper Mario or Origami King. That's how good it was. And when it was over, I cried. And I don't normally do that. That's not something I do all that often. Only other time I can think of is like Ori and the Blind Forest and Undertale. Those are the only times I can think of when we've cried. There might be one other time I can't think of off the top. Oh, obviously Life is Strange. Because Life is Strange. That is a very impactful game. I'm not really a crying person. But those got me. That's how good this game is. So it's my game of the year right now. 10 out of 10, number 1. And we'll see if anything dethrones it. Next thing, still talking about Nintendo. Guess how much he's worth? It's $100. This little guy's worth $100. Guess how much this little buddy's worth? I don't know what gender they are. This little buddy is $48. Isabel's 15. I don't have to whip her out. She's only 15. She's regular. Some of these Amiibos are getting expensive. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Wedding Bowser is like $40. Like, the wedding set itself is worth a lot as well. The original Splatoon set, which obviously I've opened up, is worth $450. By the way, the entire Amiibo card set for Animal Crossing, $1,670. $1,670 for that whole set. That's the most expensive thing. Most expensive single Amiibo, you assume would be Golden Mario. He's $390. $400. I forgot which one it is. Oh my god. I don't think it's Corn. Corn's like 3 something. There's a $400 Amiibo, and it is not the Golden Mario. It is Amazon. All right, we're going to Amazon. We're going there right now. Here we go. We're going. Now, this is outside of the defects. When it comes to the defects, obviously there's super expensive ones. But we're not talking about the defect ones. Like the double cannon Samus. Yeah, that one is worth a lot of money. Really quick, scrolling down. Where is it? Luigi's $135, by the way. Peach is $78. Oh, yeah. Callie has a Amiibo. She's $105. Where is the $400 Amiibo? Really quick. Pac-Man's $45, by the way. My boy Kirby, $99. Oh, Golden Mario out of the package is $95. Mewtwo's $27. Donkey Kong's $83. Oh, there. Corn, $77. Marie is $50. Oh, no. Isabel's $30. Can't find it. Can't find it. Where is it? Where is it? So, yeah. Anyway, the Amiibos are getting more expensive. Very expensive. Thankfully, I have a lot. I have like 60 Amiibos. Now, good for me having 60 Amiibos, right? Good for me. I can't find the $400 Amiibo all of a sudden. Anyway, now why am I bringing up Amiibos? Well, one is I wanted to buy another little Kirby because I don't want to erase his data. I'm going to erase the data of all the other Amiibos. And I just bought Star Kirby so I could have another Kirby. Because I want to bring back the Amiibo fights. The Friday Night Amiibo fights were really fun. I want to do them again. And what made me want to do it is, have you heard of the marble races? So the marble races is a silly concept. And I remember when I first saw them, like, this is fun. This is kind of interesting. I like it. And this is back when it only got like a couple thousand views. Now it gets 1 million views. This isn't why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's just a fun idea. I don't expect us to get big from it. It's Smash. Smash only has so much growth. But I love Amiibos. We know that. I love Smash. Smash is very fun. And I like being an announcer. So I want to do the Amiibo fights again. Reset everyone's levels and all that stuff. And do brackets and do stats and all that stuff. Because it's an excuse for me to practice my shoutcasting. It's an excuse for me to do better production. So it's going to be a higher production YouTube instead of a streaming thing. It's going to be a higher production YouTube thing. I might change the name for Friday Night Amiibo Fights because that implies I have to do it every Friday night. And give it a different name. And just do tournaments. And just be super productive into it. And this is all an excuse to learn Photoshop, because God knows I need to learn Photoshop already. So I can make graphics, and I can make standings, and I can make statistic boards and all that stuff for all these characters. Just super commit to it. Even if treat it as a bit if I have to, just super commit to this concept and have fun with it. Because it's a creative idea that I think would be really fun to do, just to do. And so I want to do it. And so I'm just telling you right now, that's a concept that's going to come out on the side channel at some point. My greatest strength, my greatest weaknesses, I have too many things I want to do, and so I do them. And this is one of them. And I think it could be a fun outlet for creativity. What do we do on this channel? What do? So we have the one main LP. Then on occasion, we have the one-shot recommendation videos. Every Saturday or Sunday, depending what's going on, we have the vlog. We have 2 podcasts. There's Basic Podcast that comes out every Wednesday. There's also the Kirby podcast that comes out every other Saturday. There's the StarCraft LP that's every Sunday. Then there's all the side channel stuff where I put out a video every single day of me researching an indie game or just me enjoying a game because I can't stop playing games. So there are indies on the side channel. There is Fall Guys on the side channel. There's also D&D on the side channel because I like D&D. I'm doing that. because I need to do improv in some way, and D&D is my way to do that. At some point, I want to host my own D&D campaign, so that's another project that I'm going to do. Now, I'm not making jinxes. I'm doing that one. Amiibo Fights, that's me as well. Amiibo Fights will be on the side channel, by the way, not on the main channel. We're trying not to clutter the main channel with too much stuff. The side channel, I can put everything there that I want. And we still want to do an abridged series. So we have all these projects that we do because I can't stop making things. Can't stop, won't stop. Now, what would slow me down, of course, is getting a girlfriend and getting a wife, and her becoming a wife, and then having kids. And all that stuff would slow me down. But I'm not there yet. So I need someone to put that outlet of energy. I have kids. I think what's going to happen is when I have kids, Storyteller Scarf comes out. That's what'll happen. When I have kids, that's when the writer in me is going to come out. Because I'll have people to tell bedtime stories to. And so that's where some of my creativity will go there. Because I like to write stories as well. I like to write books. I have many an unfinished book collecting dust right now that I would love to finish. But I just have all these other motivations so they don't get finished. I do too many things. Much to Jinx's unfortunateness. I don't know what the right word to use here is. I do too many things. So Jinx gets dragged along with me to do a lot of things. Because she's my partner in creativity. And it helps her get better at her skills as well. We get better at our skills because we do all these things. So, we're this deep into the video, and now I wanted to talk about... And now would be where I talk about the meat of this video. Problem is, how far are we into this video? So, suddenly, what I wanted to talk about a lot is not going to be a shorter version. So hopefully I can condense this very well. Or it's going to become a 40-minute video. We don't have a vlog next week, which I think Jinx would enjoy not having a vlog next week as well, but we'll see what happens. Just telling you right now, you get this far, there's no vlog next week, it's because of that. Kirby is bestest boy. Alright, so put him over there. Do you know how old I am? That's the next section. Do you know how old I am? It makes me feel good about myself that some people still ask what college I go to. That feels nice. It feels great. Because college was a long time ago. I graduated college in the last crash. So I feel really bad for the people who are graduating college right now in this crash. It's a very interesting bookend because I have friends in this current generation in college where my first vote was for Obama and their first vote is going to be for his vice president. Very curious thing there. I have a lot of followers on the left. I have followers on the right. I have a lot more followers on the left. At least I can, at this point, because 2016, 2017 Scarf was very anti-Republican. 2015 Scarf didn't care. 2015 Scarf was very even-handed. 2018 Scarf probably still wasn't very Republican. 2019 is mellowed out. 2020 Scarf, I really am mad about Trump, but at this point, I've come to the point where I separate Trump's Republicans from the other Republicans. So I'm at that point with the Republicans in my life. So I'm a little more mellowed out for sure, because I don't see them as the same people anymore. I see them as different groups. The problem is they're all lumped in together whether they like it or not. So, 34. I forget if I said that. I'm going to be 34 Tuesday. That's kind of old for to a lot of people. Called the younger generation. The younger generation, you'll see these tweets where they think, here's this really hot person. Oh my god, they're 30 years old. As if 30 is really old, which weirds me out. Or they're really talented at something, and they're only 30, and can you believe they're 30 years old? It's like, as if being 30 years old means you don't get to do any of these things anymore. As if it means you don't get to be hot anymore. It's so weird and confusing. I never felt that way when I was 20, or as a teenager. I didn't think 30 was old. I thought 40 or 50 was old back then, and now it's become 30. So I'm 34. I'm past the age where the younger generation thinks you're old now, which is really weird. And here's the thing about the millennial generation. I don't know how Gen Z is. I think we're Gen Y. Millennials are Gen Y. I don't know how Gen Z is about it. I don't know how Gen whatever's after Z is about it. But because I'm millennial, I can only speak for my generation. And I don't talk shit about the younger generations because I'm used to getting shit talked to me about the older generations. When my generation talks shit about the younger generations, I feel like they're not learning the lesson. The lesson is stop talking shit about the other generations. Now, if the younger generations want to talk shit, then fine, it's what the youths do, and I will accept that, because I did that when I was younger. But I'm not a fan of older bitching at the younger. Although that's just a thing. Because it was done to me. That's why I don't do it back to the younger generation. Because I don't want to continue that cycle. Boomers and Gen X, they had their kids, and some of them were Gen X kids, and some of them were millennial kids. By the way, my boss is younger than me by a year, and he hates millennials because he thinks he's a Gen X, which is hilarious because he's not. He's younger than me, and I know we're millennials. So he thinks he's of this special subset of millennials that are actually Gen X, and it's just like, shut up. Because he likes to talk shit about millennials as if he isn't one, which is so funny. Boomers and Gen X talk a lot of shit about millennials. They talk shit about how it's like, well, they got soft because like they wanted a trophy for everything. They wanted a trophy for everything, you say. They wanted the trophy. Kids don't know jack about anything. It was their parents who wanted them to have trophies for everything. Gen X and boomers, like the younger boomers and Gen X, are to blame for millennials getting a trophy for just participating. It's their fault, not the millennials' fault. So I always go like, why you blame the millennials for the things you did to them? So millennials are used to stigmas from the older generation, or just people in general. We're used to people talking crap about us and people judging us. And over the years of this vlog, you've heard me have these stigmas and saying them. And because of all these stigmas, that was a big part of my depression. Because anything anyone could say about me, I already thought of it, and I've already said it about myself tenfold. That was a big source of the depression. It wasn't what made me attempt suicide, but it was one of the things that got me really there. And honestly, what did get me there was some influences that led to that anyway, because of, well, the other person who caused it. But anyway, I have these stigmas in the back of my mind, and they've been there my entire adult life. And they're a big source of stress and pain and problems. And that's part of why I'm so spiteful, is because of me fighting against that. Because I can control my spite. I can control fighting against these stigmas towards me. Problem is, maybe I'm feeding into them, but what am I going to do? When I was unemployed when the first crash happened, I'm saying the first crash at this point because there's generations who this is their second crash. Like they were growing into the first one, and yeah. Anyway, when the first crash happened, when Obama took office and the first crash happened, I could not find a job. It took me a long time to find a job. And I could hear the voices of how useless I was, how worthless I was. Because I've said this many times before on this vlog as well about my uncle. My uncle was of the opinion is if you're not a tax-paying adult, if you don't have a job, if you're not contributing, he would love it if he could just take you out back and shoot you in the back of the head. That was my uncle saying that loudly with me in the room. He never outright said it was about me, and maybe it wasn't about me. But how could I not take it about me? And there's no just one person who thinks a thing. Also because, well, my cousin was there. My cousin was very on the right, and he also would always nod and agree with my uncle, because my uncle was the guy my cousin looked up to. So they were feeding off each other all the time. And they were always very aggressive in their when they talked about millennials, or when they talked about just people on the left in general. It was always very uncomfortable being around them. And it will be uncomfortable being around them in the future, because, well, I have family that's going to drag me to things, and I go. I am the eldest, I have to go. Duty is also a source of stress, but duty is duty, I suppose. So there are stigmas that will always bug me. And the younger generation, because I've talked to them, they're like, you shouldn't worry about that. That's not a problem, and things like that. Also, Jinx says it as well. Who's of this generation. But because of the world I'm surrounded by, because of my family, because of my bosses, because of my coworkers, a lot of them are on the right, and a lot of them are older, or influenced by the older generations. I hear these stigmas all the time, and they stab me every time. Because I'm a 34-year-old man who is single, who does not have a house, who does not have a wife, who does not have kids, And if it was not for this job that I worked very hard to get, I'd be also not have a job. So thankfully I have that part at least. But also, I live at home. So that's like 4 or 5 things that are constantly getting judged against me. I see it in the eyes, I see it in the reactions of my bosses and my coworkers. Because I don't make every meal. Sometimes I make them, sometimes my father makes them. He likes to cook. What am I going to do? So if I'm eating something at lunch and like, did you make that your dad made? I'm like, well, he made it. He wanted to make it, so he made it. And my bosses, because I have more than one, they exchange looks. And I can see out of the corner of my eye them making looks. And that's never a fun feeling. Because I know, or at least I assume I understand, what they're making looks at each other for in regards to me. He still lives at home. He's single. He doesn't even make his own food, etc., etc., etc. So that bears down on me. Also because I'm 34. Everyone thinks I'm ancient already at this point. I don't have many... I enjoy my life, though I know it is full of want, because I want those things that are being stigmatized around against me. Of course I want a house. Of course I want a wife. Of course I want kids. I'm okay with... The thing is, this house is going to be bought with my family, because I'm okay living with my family. The thing is, I got to find a girl who's okay with me living with my family, which is going to be a very hard sell. What makes the sell harder is I'm into Kirby. I'm into this pink boy. Pink is gay, apparently. All my life, Pink is gay. Now, I'm going to tell you an interesting fact, just cuz. Pink actually does have a psychological effect on the mind. It makes you less aggressive. The University of Hawaii used to have the opposing football team, college football team, in a pink visitor locker room. Pink. They destroyed their opponents, or they barely lost. Like, they were doing really, really well. And colleges were just trying to figure out, how is Hawaii beating teams they have no business beating? What's going on here? And they looked at locker rooms like, wait, this locker room's pink. That's weird. And they dug into it and everything, and this is why there's a rule in college, in NCAA, that the locker rooms must be exactly the same for both sides. Same color, same stuff, all that. Because of the University of Hawaii. Isn't that interesting? Pink does bring down aggression. That is a very interesting concept. The thing, though, is, since I've been around pink all my life, not all my life, a lot of my life, and I'm still a very angry person, I think it's just, well, it's because people view pink as gay, I suppose, is what causes that less aggressiveness. They see it as more of a feminine thing, so it puts them that, I don't want to say feminine mindset, because that is a very bad minefield to say, but that is, I will say, for misogynists, that's what it does to them. And so it just makes them not as aggressive. I gotta find a girl who's into pink, who's okay with me having Kirby's. Like, look, it's okay to change for another person. It's okay to evolve for another person. You don't change all of yourself, but you should change some of yourself, just because maybe there's things about you that aren't so great. Like, obviously, there's things I do that aren't so great that I could change and would make things better. Like, being more kept about my looks, of course, would put up my odds of dating. Being just cleaner about my room, or cleaner about how I take care of things would be helpful. Like, I'm not the cleanest person. I clean up when I need to, but I'm not the cleanest person. But I'm a responsible person, so that helps me, right? But that's a stigma there. Like, dudes aren't supposed to have stuffies. They're not supposed to have plushies. Not a thing. So I have that stigma to worry about. Then there's a different stigma. This is the last thing to talk about, because we're going very long. The Nintendo community has many communities, like anything does. The problem is it's imploding in different parts a little bit, and you get why, because it's a younger, between Xbox and all the other ones and all them, Nintendo's always been seen as the kid one. So there's a younger audience there. That's because Nintendo isn't trying to just get the adults, they're getting everybody. Because when you get kids as fans, they become adults that are fans. This happened to me, it happens to many. So Smash imploded a little bit because a lot of the popular people, they turned out to be pedophiles. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. So there was implosion there. Recently, Splatoon's having some implosion because there's popular Splatoon person find out they're being a very creepy pedophile. And so I think about that, because I did not by choice have this happen, but this is what's happened is, my audience, you guys and gals, are young. I'm 34. I can only think of 5 people in the viewership, and out of my friendships, because I'm friends with a lot of my viewership as well, I can only think of like 5 people who are older than me or as old as me. Kylax, not going to say the names of the viewers. Jinx, and at this point, someone who's recently been a guest. I'll say it that way. That's it. Everyone else is either 20s, like younger 20s, or teenagers. Some of my viewers were straight up like 9 or 8 when they found me through Smash. And it's been almost 7 years, so now they're teenagers. So my viewership is young. Everyone I talk to is young. Everybody's young. So obviously that looks weird. There's nothing I can do about that. Being friends with 14-year-olds as a 34-year-old is gonna look weird. That's something I have to accept. And that's what it's gonna be. And so the way I do things is I treat everyone as a person regardless of age. I don't assume age, I just talk to people. That's it. That is how I roll. Unless I know your age, I don't know your age. Like, I'm never gonna ask how old you are. Just gonna be friendly, gonna just hang out and do whatever. At this age, I'm just friendly. I don't flirt anymore. Because at some point I realized, yeah, I'm at an age where that could get very not good for me. That could get really not good for me. So I'm just friendly with everyone. The people my age look at everything I do as weird. People younger than me probably don't, but they're younger than me. And I don't judge age gap, but so many people do. So I don't know what I'm going to do about any of that. Really, honestly, I feel like my only chance at love is like a cute, smaller girl. That's a weird way. You can be cute any size. What am I talking about? But like cute and small and tall and muscular are my types, is what I was trying to say. But there's a third type, honestly. Just cute. Cute in general works as well. But like, I know that's what I've dated. Or I've tried to date is cute and small. I've dated or tried to date that. And big and muscular. I've tried to date that. I've never gotten a date with that. They just don't go for me. This is an unfortunate thing. If a woman like Zarya gave me a chance, I would put in the work to woo her. The problem is you have to put in the work beforehand, because honestly, a chick who's that big and strong isn't interested in someone who's weaker than them. And that is me. I'm definitely weaker than a Zarya level lady. So sucks to be me on that. But I've dated short and cute. So that's my best chance, is dating that again. Or just my height and cute, that's also fine. Anything in cute is fine. What am I talking about? But I've dated this. Like, I've dated this. Like, to this height. I've also dated to this height. I've tried to date to this height. I don't have a problem with that. But I feel like it's getting harder to find that. Because obviously, anyone who's dating that, they're not going to try to lose that, right? Who wants to lose a cute girl, right? At least Ninjax is going to get this far. So thank you for watching, Ninjax. You've always been cool. To be honestly, anyone else who got this far as well, it really is a nice feeling when you know you have someone who does watch all your stuff. And that might put things on Ninjax a little bit, because I'm sure Ninjax doesn't watch every single thing, but I know Ninjax watches a lot of things. But we all see Ninjax. Ninjax is around a lot. It's nice to have someone who actually likes your stuff. And so, yeah, Ninjax is great. That's the only way. Shout out to Ninjax. So that right there is the vlog. I went really long on it. Yeah, I went really long. I had fun talking about people, watching and listening, and that's what's up, isn't it? Having fun. At this point, it's too long. No vlog next week for sure. Yep, there you go. So thanks for coming by, and see you next time.